imprisoned no longer. Jealous fools. I will not be restrained. This is what I live for. Run, playthings.
What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to play Syndra. Now Syndra is a mage that has a bit of everything that you need from a mid laner. She has great wave clear, she has a lot of utility, AoE stun, AoE slow, insane burst damage, and then she's also very strong in the lane, meaning that you can give your jungler prio. So you start off with a Q, the Spears, it's a skill shot with a very low cooldown, so if you're looking at what I'm doing right here, I'm really trying to play super aggressive early on, especially into a melee matchup. You want to abuse your auto attacks as well as the Q to poke down the opponent. We are running Summon Airy and Scorch because Scorch got buffed, so it deals a lot more damage now. And that is a big help for Syndra, who is a champion that really wants to dominate the lane. And the E is a stun and a knockback. So how this champion works is that her other abilities will manipulate the spears you drop on the ground from your Q. So when you place down a Q, then if you use that E to knock them back, and if the spears hit a champion, they will be stunned. So you constantly want to have spears on the ground, and then you can see that small arrow that indicates in which direction they will go towards when you E them. We have a Yeager coming in. This guy really wants to make a play in the mid lane. That is not happening. Going back to being aggressive. Now the W, so you'll be able to pick up an opponent, which is not a champion, but you can pick up stuff like the minions, the skull crab, the monster camps and so on. Like if you want to steal away the blue buff from the enemy jungler or your jungler, you can just yoink that one and then throw it somewhere else. And it's going to deal damage where it lands, and also slow. So you're gonna unlock some combos when you get to level 3. One thing you can do is that when you drop down a spear with your Q, you can pick it up with your W, throw it at the opponent like right on top of them, and then you immediately press your E, so you kind of get a guaranteed hit to stun them. That's a cool combo you can do on Syndra. The hardest one. Basically what you do is that, you know the QE combo where you place down a spear and then E, so knock it towards the enemy champion to stun them. You can also do EQ. It can be a bit hard to pull off, but it kind of makes it difficult for the opponent to see the spear coming in, so they don't really get any time to react to it. They have to predict it, they can't really react to it. And your passive, so every single time you max out an ability, that ability is going to get an additional effect. For example, when you reach level 9, that's when you will have a maxed out Q, and when that happens, your Q is going to deal bonus damage to enemy champions. And your W, a maxed out W, is going to deal true damage, bonus true damage. And then you have the area effect on the E also getting increased, like it's getting wider, like 50% wider when you have that maxed out. And your ultimate is going to get bonus cast range. So you really want to play this champion to dominate the laning phase. You can also play the scaling game because she does not scale as well as something like a Victor or a Kassadin, but she can do a lot in teamfights because she has AoE CC on the E, guys. If you hit an entire enemy team with that stun, it can really turn around the game. Now the weakness though is that she has pretty short range, medium range. So if you play against a team with very high range, like a Serath, for example, and an S12 who can just perma-kite, it's going to be very hard to set up stuff. And as she's also immobile, so if you don't have perfect positioning, it can also be very hard to make this champion work. Now everything about this champion, besides her ultimate, is skill shot reliant, so you really have to put in a lot of games to really understand the range of these different abilities and how to use them together. But Summon Airy and Scorch is very good for taking out the lane. You can see how I was able to play really aggressive early on and then of course let me get prio. So if my jungler needed help with a Skull Crab for example, then I would be able to move first. Now we got level 6, which is what Syndra is known for. Some people think she's an easy champion because the ultimate is a point and click, but that's absolutely wrong. Like your Q, your W, your E, all skill shots, you have to be really good at landing them. So your ultimate is a point and click, single target burst damage ability, and the damage of this ability scales with the amount of spears you have on the ground, because your ultimate will pick up the spears you have on the ground to deal the bonus damage based on how many you picked up. And when you have the ultimate up, you unlock another combo which makes it easy to stun someone. So if you play against a mobile champion who dashes and stuff, what you can do is that you ult them, so you pick up all the spears and then attack the opponent with it, and then the spears will drop on the ground next to them. When that happens, you immediately press your E, because it's going to knock back all the spears into the opponent, so you get like insane amount of distance that you cover with the spears. So pretty much becomes impossible to dodge it unless they have flash or some kind of blink. But that ultimate, you can use it as a finisher, you can also use it early on at the start of the fight to get a guaranteed stun with your E. And I just used it as a finisher right here. I got as many spears on the ground as possible, stunned Katarina into that ultimate with the ignite, and bam, she is gone. And that's why you play her with ignite, because that's how you have kill pressure. Katarina is one of the worst matchups for Syndra because, as I said, she has a lot of skill shots, and the champions, the counter champions with a lot of skill shots, are mobile champions like the Katarina. And she has instant mobility, because the moment she presses C, she's going to blink instantly, so it becomes very hard to like hit her with skill shots. And when you play against champions like Katarina, you really want to make sure you are not wasting that E. You cannot use your only CC ability when she has a blink up. So you want to keep it, you want to bait out her blink, and then you can use it. Because if you use it earlier than that, that will give her an opportunity to run you down. Like if you make one mistake in these matchups, it will turn around the entire lane. You have to be really careful of using that E. And only use it, like you can use it more often if you're closer to your side of the lane, because then they can't really punish you yet. But if you're in the middle of the lane or any further than that, keep your E. Once again, you see how I'm keeping my E, guys? I'm not just using it. I'm waiting for her to commit, or I'm trying to abuse that short timer there is when she E's to a dagger, because there's going to be like a very short delay before she can E again. That is what I'm trying to take advantage of. If I use it before that, she's going to use that E to engage onto me, and then I'm either gonna die or I have to blow my summoners, and then she can kill me next time. So that's how you want to play the hard matchups. And then you can also pick up the Skull Crab with a W, so you can like deny the enemy jungler with it. There's a Yeager coming in here. We should definitely turn around though if he's pretty close. I have the ultimate up. You see I missed my E here, so I had to back off all the way, because then I don't have any disengage. Your E is the only disengage this champion has. You don't have any mobility whatsoever. So if you don't have that E up in a fight, everybody will try to engage onto you, so you just have to get out. That's a very fit Kai'Sa on that team as well, which could make things a bit more difficult because Kai'Sa is a champion with a lot of mobility as well, with her E on a short cooldown and then the ultimate as well. So if she dodges your E, guys, like your stun, you're dead. Unless you are extremely fed, which we are not this game. Well, that sucks. First of all, when I used that E right there, I thought that she was going to like blink to her minion to escape with. She did not. I think she just had very slow reaction time. And then I was also not within range to ignite afterwards to get the finishing kill, so... two unfortunate things happening at once. Kinda sucks, but she's pushed out of the lane. And we are winning a matchup that we should not be winning because Katarina is like one of the hardest counter picks. Also Echo and Fizz as well. Also very hard matchups to play, and assassins in general. So if you're not confident on the champion, then do avoid picking her into AP assassins and AD assassins as well. Getting the fruits here, and next time we recall, we have enough gold for the Luminous Tempest. Free magic pen, but also mobility from the passive, which is huge on champions like Syndra, who has no mobility in her kit. We are level 10 now, but at level 9 is a big spike. On pretty much any mage, because that's why you max out one ability. But especially on Syndra, because as I said, every single time you max out an ability, they get a bonus effect. So now the Q deals bonus damage to champions, so you really notice the damage difference you deal before level 9 and from level 9 and afterwards. Also, it can actually be a lot easier to hit an enemy champion with a E stun if you have the spirit closer to you, because it will travel a fixed distance. So if you're standing closer to it, it looks like it is going to travel a lot further. And the enemy champion does not expect that a lot of times. This Viego is really trying to make a gank work out in the mid lane. He has failed though, but unfortunately this Katarina picked up double kills, so that sucked. Sucks big time. But that is all this champion does, like you destroy this champion in the lane and then just a random roam gets a double kill and then GG's, FF15. Rammus could actually gank mid just because she has a gold bounty. And it'll be pretty free because like when you have a jungler who has guaranteed CC and you play Syndra, wait for them to get in position, wait for them to get their guaranteed CC off, and then you follow with a QE, easy stun, into W, into Q, into alt, and the target is gone. If you have someone with guaranteed CC, point and click CC, let them use it first and then you can use yours afterwards. Once again, not within range to ignite. That's so unfortunate. It's like second time in a row it happens now. We are maxing out the E second after the Q, because we want to have this on a low cooldown, because that's like our main disengage and also engage ability. So very important that you always max out the E second. So prioritize your ultimate first, and then your Q, and then your E. But your ultimate is always something you max out first, so that's why I said that we prioritize E second, so you basically go Q into E, and then W last. And now if you want the maximum damage on this champion, like highest possible DPS, you want to be camping in the bush, and then you just place the Qs on yourself, like you just spam Q on the ground, so you have as many spears as possible, because that's going to increase the ultimate damage. And then just use everything you have. Just insta-ult the opponent into a stun, into W, and then into another Q. And they should be gone. Easy combo onto the Katarina, and she is gone. And your E is a knockback, so if you don't hit the stun, like miss it like I did right here, if they're close enough, it's just going to knock them back, but it will not stun them. You have to make sure that that spear is going to like will be knocked into them, because that is the only way that you are going to stun. Seems like we have a tank Syndra, which is actually pretty viable just due to the fact that they buff the tank items and this champion just becomes really hard to take down. We cannot build it. Syndra is very reliant on damaging items, otherwise you're gonna fall behind pretty fast. So that is not an option for us. We have to keep building DPS. Or burst damage. Syndra is not really a DPS champion despite having low cooldown on their Q. She pokes a lot, like she wants to poke people a lot, and then she sets up somebody with a QE combo into stun, into all in. And if you give her lead guys, like she gets extremely fed, that is where she starts one-shotting with one ultimate. But before that, that's not happening. Now the teamfights are starting, so I'm just looking for picks with a QE combo. Take somebody down, and then you're like, if you hit somebody with a QE combo, then your teammates can collapse. Then you take that target down, then you just wait and repeat. You stay in the back line. You do not want to frontline for your team. You can just like stay ahead if you are in the fog of war to like get within range to stun somebody, but you do not want to be a frontline. Because you just get one shot. You get CC'd and one shot. This champion is very squishy. Katarina picking up more kills, which sucks. But we almost have a fully stacked Dark Seal, so you can get the Magi's just because I'm doing pretty well in the game, so I'm not died yet, meaning that almost likely get it stacked up pretty fast. And then we also need the Shadow Flame because that's more flat magic pen. And again, squishy targets, that is really good to have. We have flat magic pen from the sock shoes, from the Tempest, and then from the Shadow Flame as well when we have it. The good thing about Syndra is that you give your team a bit of everything that they could possibly need. From wave clear to prio to insane team fighting and utility as well. And you'll see how I killed that rel previously. Alt into E. And that E, because we had so many spears on the ground, they just covered such a big distance that we ended up hitting her. Which secured us the kill. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the Magi's right here. Because Dark Seal is fully stacked, so another good thing here is that when you have 10 stacks on the Magi's, you get bonus moon speed. As I said previously, that is huge. On immobile champions, every point of mobility is a big help. We can start grouping with the team. Like you can camp in corners and in bushes as well, wait for people to face check, hit them with a guaranteed stun and then just burst them down. If possible, you want to be focusing down the squishy targets, you know, the squishy enchanter support if they have one, the AD carry, the mage in the mid lane, the assassin and so on. You do not want to be hitting the tank, that is not your goal. You can stun the tank to like peel your team and then Q, poke them, but do not use the ultimate on the tank unless you can finish them off. Your main goal is to hit these squishy targets. We need one more point and then we have that E maxed out as well. So the area effect is going to be 50% wider. And this right here, people, is what happens if you are overextended just once. Like if you just get caught out of position once on this champion, even if you're fed, this happens. You just get shredded insanely fast. And that's also one of the reasons why she is so hard to play. First of all, 3 abilities, skill shots, and then she is immobile. The positioning is very important. You also have to be really good at aiming skill shots. So not really a champion for beginners. You can still play her of course, but it just means that you have to invest in a lot more games compared to a simple 1 IQ champion like the Annie. Or the Heimerdinger. But of course, if you like playing the champion, you like the design, the ability kit and so on, then go for it. Easy takedown on the Katarina. Another great stun on the Rel. You can see we cancelled her dash right there with the stun. You can also time it like that. You can really do a lot of stuff. Like the reason she's good in teamfights is because AoE stun. And she's very good at taking down overextended targets. And people will always overextend in solo queue. It happens every single game. They're always going to like miss position at some point. And that's why Syndra becomes really good, because that is what she can take advantage of. We can just go ahead and recall here. Unfortunately, oh, actually we do have enough gold for the Shadow Flames, so that is huge, because that's another big spike. Lots of AP, also some tankiness, but also Magic Pen. And our team is securing the Drake. Always play around the objectives as well. Almost have a fully stacked Magi's, which helps the early game a lot. Like you just one-shot any squishy now. A full combo and they should be gone. Now we just have to make sure they're not doing the Baron, because we do not have any vision over there. So we need to fix that. Oh, we have people flanking as well. You really have to make sure you're not getting caught in a very bad position. You can see one combo, almost lost all of her HP. If I was within range for that ultimate, she would be gone. I'm also not just wasting my ultimate. You see how we took down the Rel over here? I did not use the ultimate because it was not necessary. So because I have it up right now, meaning that I can save it for another person. Now we can go for the Baron and then we can use that to like close the game with, because it is pretty even right now, but the Baron will help out a lot. Especially when we get to the point where we start sieging. There's the Baron secured at 25 minutes. We can start the sieging, but we also want to make sure that our teammates are here. We don't have the Syra or the Rammus or the GP yet. That right there was another basic combo from a fed Syndra, QE, bam, most HP gone. Getting another large rod because that's going to build into the death cap. If they have magic resistance at this point, then you can go into the void staff. Right now they don't really have it, but even if something like Rel bought MR, I would not care about that, because I only care if the targets I want to be focusing down are buying MR. If the Kaiser or the Katarina, the Viego started building MR or the Seri, then I would start getting the void staff. Now we are sieging, we have the entire team. Actually we don't, but we have the important members here. Gangplank split pushing as he should. Oh, that's a heavy engage. Well, that sucks, but actually it's worth it. Cause they committed everyone in the mid lane and almost the entire team died. Just Kaiser left and our teammates are just ending the game from the sidelines. So that's a play they should never make, honestly, and that's why we did not expect them to do it, so I died. Does not matter though, because they can just go for the base towers now. They tried to commit really hard. They took me and the AD carry down, but we got the entire base, so that's super worth it, even though I lost some major stacks. Now they just have to back off because the entire team is respawning. But the base is open now, so next push and we can end it. Save the Ramos, go Sarah. Save them, and we also coming in here. We can just group up and then hopefully we can go for the end. And that should be it. Oh, that sucks. He survived like 1 HP and Sarah also died. Satch. Big Satch. Now we got a fully maxed out ultimate level 16. That means that the range is higher. And with the range, I mean the cast range. Way higher now. So a lot easier to like, even if somebody dashes away, you can still be within range to just ult them. Ult into E. Like if you do that ultimate into the E combo in a team fight and you hit the entire enemy team, that should be almost a guaranteed win in a team fight unless you are really far behind. Because that's a huge zone you are covering and also stunning. We gotta find a way to pick them off right here because then we can end it. Teammates are coming in to flank. I'm gonna take the other way around. Two people stun. Into a kill. And the Zeri is also going down, so now is our chance to go ahead and end the game right here. You really have to try to hit multiple people with that stun if you can. In a team fight, because that is going to make a big difference. But that was how to play Syndra. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching and see y'all next time.